Hey there! So today we have another review. This is a beer from Brian. This is from, what is this from? This is brewed and packaged by Troubled Waters in Safety Harbor, Florida. Troubled Waters, blah, blah. Bob Fieri's Trouble Somewhere, Saison with apricot and peach. So they got this, they got a Guy Fieri with the hot hair on that. And so this is in collaboration with Saint Somewhere. Oh my God. I guess Bob Sylvester's not really... So Bob Sylvester, by the way, you guys skip ahead to review, but is one of the most important people in all of craft beer in Florida. Obviously a cigar city, but Bob Sylvester was doing Saisons in the 1990s to the, maybe 2000. Actually, I don't think 2000s, when it was not popular. He was distributing, like doing the Jolly Pumpkin thing. And so he's that kind of like glory story, but I don't think he's no longer with it, but again, when people are trying to do that, Jolly Pumpkin somehow has survived that with their business model, but Saint Somewhere was doing something like that, doing all the Belgian-centric kind of stuff that is honestly now, 20 years ahead of what some breweries are trying to do now. So Bob Sylvester from Saint Somewhere is the original farmhouse breweries in the United States. Honor him with a collaboration with him and Mike Merrill. It takes a takes to a magical land called Saison Town. Traditional Saison grill, Saison grain bill, Belgian yeast, finished with Quebec, apricot and peach. Ooh, sounds fun as hell. So, again, nice shout out to Bob Sylvester. See him on social media sometimes. And again, one of the really important breweries, I think, that people really don't appreciate. So, Kate. Again, Katie has had interactions with him on social media. So, again, just, wow. Again, we're talking about like that old. We're talking about New Belgium. We're talking about, not Saison, but like Allagash. Like in the realm of like, Belgian style, old traditional kind of stuff that is revitalized by a lot of small breweries. But for people to really take a chance back in the day when there were only 1,000 breweries in the country, hundreds of breweries in the country, less than 2,000 in the country, So, thank you, Brian, for sending this one out. Can't read that, bro. Head doesn't look great, but it's really nice, kind of like medium gold color. Yeah. Get some of that like signature kind of like yeast character that's like slightly funky, doesn't smell that sweet, don't really get too much fruit character, a little spicing, a spicy character. So, cheers. That's a Saison, yeah. And that is, it's so silly. I don't know why they did the Bob Fieri thing. Like, why not call it Bob's Saison? Table Somewhere. This guy's 8.6. Are you kidding me? This tastes like a table Saison. The malt's not there. It's so dry. Generally, somewhere when you get to, this is in the range of, I just did BJCP today, just stunning. 3.5 to 5 is your, table Saison. 5 to 7.5 is your quote unquote standard Saison. Super Saison goes from 7.5 to 10%, right? Anyway, I'm trying my best. Anyway, so this is pure Saison. It doesn't have the malt sweetness to really show its ABV. This is something that Bob would have done. I've had at least a couple. I wish I've had more, but again, the brewery doesn't quite really exist more. You can visit Saint Somewhere, I think, in the St. Pete area, but it's no longer what he brews. But yeah, that is a dry, tasty, kind of traditional Belgian style Saison. And we're thinking about stuff like, Blaugie, Saison de Pont. Like this is full blind, I would have guessed European. Like no American producers are producing beers that taste like this. Not literally, but basically none. American producers are now doing this new age Saison and trying to go all the way back and doing experimentation. Brett, this is just straight pure farmhouse strain. I guess the Kveik also helped dry it out. I don't taste any peach and apricot in this guy, but it's just really tasty. What makes it so tasty though? It's this kind of like crackery, grainy malt up front with a little bit of biscuity sweetness. Taste of water, the aqueous quality of the beer come in. It ideally should be a little bit more hoppy, so I feel the can is not as great in the sense that like it just should have a little bit more hop presence. Bitterness is a little low. I feel like you could use a little bit more going on, but it bitters out quite nicely. There's a lingering bitterness on the back end. This is 8.6% Belgian style Saison, French or old world. We're talking about the shelf beers that don't really exist anymore. That if you can find them, you can find them. But wow, incredibly tasty. This is highly drinkable. I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, I talk about beers that are just not drinkable at 8.6. New England IPAs, blah blah, 5%, 6%. This beer is a absolute crusher, the most drinkable beer at this ABV that I've had in a long time. Let's go with an amazing 95. 95 Baffieri's. Why is Baffieri involved in this? Baffieri's Trouble Somewhere. Absolutely fantastic, despite the fruit not really being evident. The yeast character, the building of the beer, the dryness. It's a dry Goldman beer. And it doesn't have too much phenolics, not too much fruit esters, but it's just super drinkable and super tasty. So tasty. Until next time, guys, cheers later.